Right, I've got 2 DC. Both of them essentially mean that it doesn't go off. One of the better one would mean you get more of an advantage to how you disable it essentially.
Okay.
So I've got DC down there for both. So Tinker's Tools. Tinker's Tools are not specifically used for that. So how about we say, does it work for you if I go with? No, that doesn't really work for you.
I can go with thieves' tools if you know. I would look at the trap and I would just disconcern.
It doesn't really work. It doesn't really work in the sense that that's dex based, and you're doing it in a different way. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say because you've got enough time. There's no threat, no nothing. I won't always do it this way, but essentially I'm just going to say a straight D20 roll plus your intelligence is what you're going to be doing with your thieves' tools.
Okay.
Plus you get D4 from Chris. But obviously there is a risk you can mess it up.
Also, I'm going to do. 1 second.
Intelligence roll, did you say?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah,
or tinker type things that you're doing because you've got time.
Yeah, there's no rushes there.
I'm going to do embalming bond between me and Samuel as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You tell him what that adds for him.
Yeah, so you add another D4, mate, to your ability check.
Okay.
Almost automatically made it on minimums.
Right. So just a roll now and then a D20 roll. So I'll do that now.
D20 roll plus 2D4.
And then I'll add the 2D4.
If you fail this, it will be surprising.
Oh yeah. Did you see that?
I did see that. That was a very good roll.
24. And then you want 2. I'll have to roll those on here when I 2D4. There we go. So 29 in total, mate.
The good thing with you rolling this high is you have no idea what the DC is because you've absolutely smashed both DCs.
Good teamwork.
Good teamwork.
Leonidas is there behind you, kind of shield slightly kind of kept up in front of him, a bit like little clicking noises. And you're kind of tinkering with it, and as you are, there's a little click every now and again, and you can hear Leonidas mimicking the click behind you nervously. you kind of eventually manage to kind of lift it up slightly from the water, but kind of shoving in the sink underneath. And as you lift it up, essentially the 2 DCs was one of them was for you to disable it and take it, but ruined, or one of them to take it and it is still intact. You have it intact. It is a sonic alarm trap. It's not written anywhere, so just write in the bottom of your character sheet a sonic alarm trap.
I'll put it.
Even though it's technically not called Sonic anymore, but I'm not going to call it Thunderous. And at the moment, you don't know specifically what it does. But if you spend some time at another point, obviously it's still live. You've still got the thing, it's still live. So you don't want to sit in the middle of an inn, think. It might not be the best idea. You know it's live. But if you go and spend some more time with it,
I'll put it in my special bag, yeah.
I was going to say, that obviously makes it very safe. What I mean is just when you go to tinker with it, you could potentially tinker with it and find out what it actually does. So you know the specifics of it.
Cool. So it's I've just put it in there now. Sonic trap.
Oh, I can't get my wine a minute because my finger's going to keep going off. Give me just a second.
Yeah, man, skillage.
Mate, I'm impressed. Well done, us.
Yeah, exactly. 29. You nearly could open a puzzle box for that, David. At second level.
I smell some large cheating.
Oh,
there he goes.
What's that? I've got my Nerf hammer. I'm going to have to buy a Nerf hammer so I can have it on screen. Okay, you haven't missed anything, Stu, in terms of thinking. That was just going through. I forgot I was supposed to do that in between last time. Well, I did get Candy did the rolls essentially for you. There was 3 of you last time that was doing like a search of the caves to check there was anything you missed or anything like that, and I essentially got Candy to roll, which rolls on essentially the rewards kind of tables that are in the DM's guide.
Oh, that's right. Didn't she roll good?
She did roll very good. And essentially, I also got to roll who finds it, but because you were the one who rolled the worst, essentially you found it, but those two see you find it. You effectively find like a tatty kind of leather kind of pouch, almost with holes in it. You can see as you kind of go up to it, it looks like there's a coin about to kind of fall out of the side. You pick it up, and inside of there, you can count it quickly. You roughly estimate about 100 gold in there.
Oh.
So if you want to add that to your character sheet, I don't know if you want to add it as thingy, or if you this is where you guys have got to figure out how you're going to do a kind of.
Oh, I don't take it. I don't add it. I give it to Quinn.
Okay. So this is what I mean is now you guys have got to figure out who's going to do some sort of sheet. Do you want something on Foundry that's like a party loot thing? Although even though you have a party loot thing, someone's got to hold it, so you can't just go, oh yeah, we shovel this in there, and then it all disappears into nothingness. So.
I give it to Quinn and I say I saw Sammy had some kind of magic pack on his but he did stick a human body in there, so maybe don't put the coins in there after.
Gripping human body.
Yeah. So I give whatever I found, I give to either Quinn or Condra, any of the queues, whichever's closest. I just pick it up instinctively, just give it to them.
What I would say based on that, you can give it to Quinn and Adam. Do you want to see if you can try to make a journal on Foundry for me of like a party loot thing? Just for now, everyone can obviously access it. I'll change it and make everyone access it. But if you want to start that for me, then we can have it as a starting place.
Sure.
Okay, so as I said, you didn't miss anything, Stu. We were just more so chatting. So effectively, we've gone over now, and Sammy has kind of disabled the trap. You guys are all waiting for that. You've already seen one of these go off. Last time, if you remember rightly, you'd all got all the way through. A few of you guys had kind of lingered and searched the different caves on the way back, hence finding the gold. Then you kind of all met at the mouth of the cave system where there was that small chest that looked like a kind of maintenance chest as such. And when one of you flicked it open, I think Candy flicked it open with a mage hand from a distance, and immediately this thing just bounced up in the air, which was the metal disc that you've seen what Sammy's working with, and boom, makes a huge kind of explosion and kind of like a shockwave kind of come out. None of you were standing near enough for it to cause a problem, but you would imagine it might hurt. It doesn't look like that was its main purpose, but it does look like it may hurt. So essentially you saw that, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there waiting, just listening down the hall if you're going to hear another one from the distance, but you don't actually hear it. And eventually probably takes about 10 minutes. Probably takes, at least about 10 minutes or so before Sammy and Leonidas come up. Sammy kind of already kind of put it away as such, so both of them just kind of come walking around the corner. And in that time, Balasar's essentially does have a healing potion on him. Has essentially handed it so that the two that you rescued essentially are feeling just a little bit better, but they're still really shaken, still not looking great, still kind of dried blood on them, that kind of thing, but not looking like they're about to fall down, as it were.
Wasn't the scout really mashed as well? His own boy.
He was, but you imagine.
I killed him.
Oh right, no, that's it. Yeah, sorry, yeah, Chris.
I was going to say, but if not, he's kind of a bit more used to it than the random person, as it were. And yeah, he did get healing anyway, so it's enough for him not to worry. So effectively, you now find yourselves now leaving, and you're out on the beach area. So you walk out onto the beach area. The sea is all in front of you. As you look over towards the right, where there was the fire on the boat, you're kind of not sure what you're going to walk out to. And you walk out, and you can still kind of see some smoke, but it's not a billowing mess of kind of anarchy as you walk out. You believe that it has been brought under control. Quadra, Leonidas, and Quinn, you were on the boat. You already have seen. All of you saw the technology they had to try and stop the boat from having as much of an impact when it hit into the dockside. And you kind of three who were already on the boat, you've seen them use other kind of weird technologies and stuff. So you imagine they had some sort of extra means to help fight the fire that was kind of raging from below. So right now you're kind of on the beach side, and as you look off kind of up towards your right, back onto where all the docks start, where you jumped off the kind of end of the jetty down onto the sand, as you look up that way, you can still see kind of the wood that's kind of all got splintered and ruined. You can see kind of there's quite a few people milling about down there, seem to be getting on with something. but you're not close enough at the moment to see. So I'm going to hand over to you guys. You're all standing on that beach.
Well, that was enjoyable. Don't want to see another rat for a while.
No. So I'm going to look over at the boat. Is it still sort of hanging on the side of the dock, or is it sinking?
No, when it originally hit, it kind of hit and then kind of started to seep back out into the water. The actual damage itself was above the waterline. So you don't feel like the boat itself is going to sink. It's definitely taken a fair amount of damage, but it's not like the boat was going to sink at that point. So you can kind of look over, and as you look over, there's a lot of boats in the way as well, at least another 3 or 4 from this side. And you can see that the boat is sitting pretty much about where it was when you left it. It looks like it's possibly been shored up or something, because being that if it wasn't tied down, it probably would have floated out a bit more. It is still where it is, so you assume it's been brought under some sort of control.
Okay. So it's as long as it's not in danger of sinking. As you know, if it was, I'd go jump on it and see what I could how I could help with taking stuff off, especially if it was underwater.
Sorry, David.
Go on, no, that was it. But if it looks fine, then I'm just going to look to everyone else and say, well, I'm off to the Wyvern Inn.
Yeah,
You guys are welcome to join me. I already owe Belgaren a drink and some guys from the road who helped me get my wagon out of a trench. So, but you guys are welcome to join if you want to have a drink.
That sounds like a plan. I just need to go and check on my boat though, just in case.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Well, you know where the inn is, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Don't worry. I'll be there. I'm gonna. I walk off.
We'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Captain,
Okay,
cheers. Good. That was a good fight. Good fight.
Indeed.
And then I just walk off. I'm just gonna go off.
Just before you walk off, Balasar kind of clutches your arm and says, "I'll come and meet you later. I'll come and find you wherever you are. I'm going to take these 2 back to where they're supposed to go. But obviously stay around. Don't leave town for now."
Yeah,
no. I'll be in the inn.
That's what I thought.
It's at the inn.
Yeah.
Good. I'll come and find you there later.
All right, Captain.
Brad, have I got any inkling? Are these the ones I was looking for at all?
You're unsure. There's no specifics for you in that sense. You've not got enough information at this point to know.
Okay, cool.
So it's kind of your thing as such. You've got to kind of define that a bit more yourself.
Okay.
So right now, what I would say is there's nothing obvious to you, especially you as a player. You as a player now need to define, was that what it was, or is there something else? You essentially have to go and do that.
Okay.
So essentially, Fenton's walked off. Sammy's now walking up kind of to the
I'm
boat.
walking with him.
What about Leonidas, Quinn, and Quandra? What are you guys doing?
I'll follow.
Yeah, I'm following. To the tavern. Or the inn, sorry, should I say.
Yep. So you kind of get up to where the boat now is. And obviously there's the mess of the dockside, which had completely kind of broken in. And as you kind of get up to it, you can see there's what looks like some sort of commanding figure, but isn't armored or anything like that. It doesn't even look like they're from the boat. They look like they're from the town. Looks to be kind of organizing the dock kind of side itself. Seems to be telling some different kind of deckhands, workers sort of thing, where to kind of go. In the kind of immediate aftermath, look like they're trying to clean up whatever's happened on the dockside. But also over on the ship, as you look at the ship, you can see now that the amount of damage is quite a lot, but again, above sea level. So probably at least about 3 meters, 3 to 5 meters across, all up the side of the ship. So it probably extends from a little bit above the waterline to at least another 5 meters up, if you like, to right near the top of the deck where the flames were kind of pouring up. But the flames have long gone been put out. You can see that kind of there's still a bit of smouldering as such. there's definitely some holes in the side. It was enough to cause enough damage to actually wreck the boat. The boat is not properly seaworthy at the moment. On top of the boat, you can see there's some of the workers who you could see were originally run out with all the stuff to help the impact. You can see some of them are kind of milling about on top of the deck, and some of them are on ropes kind of hanging down the side. Look like they're kind of assessing what's happened to the boat. So does anyone want to do anything with that, or you onwards to the tavern?
As we walk to the inn, I'm going to use prestidigitation to clean myself up.
your,
Going along.
So,
your volume's a little bit low, Ad. Any way you can increase it?
Yep. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
so you say is the boat looks seaworthy? It's not in
It's
the
not
process of gonna.
seaworthy, but it's definitely not going to sink. The
It's not
damage
gonna
is off the
sink.
waterline. So unless there's a storm in port, the boat is going to sit where it is without a problem.
Right. Is the captain anywhere nearby?
You
I
don't
see?
see a captain at the moment. You only see the
Okay.
one ordering from down on the dockside.
But they don't look like they're panicking about the boat or anything, do
No, they look fairly calm. They look fairly
All right,
calm.
that's
Just
cool.
telling different people what to get, what to do, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You can't specifically hear them, but you can see that they're commanding in their organisation of telling different people what to do.
That's cool. So I'm assuming the captain and the lady and gentleman are going to go one way, and we're off to the inn.
Yes. Balasar looks like he's got his two people with him. They seem to be walking off.
Right,
As you kind of start to walk on, you essentially make your way around the part of the deck that's all broken. The town itself doesn't really. It does as you look up to kind of like this bit. It's only a small kind of cliffside at this point. You kind of look up. You can see the buildings. They do pass on. They don't go down as far as where you came out the cave kind of system, but they definitely continue on further to about a bit more than where you are. But essentially, there is no kind of immediate pass into there because it's up a bit of a cliff. So you kind of make your way around the same way you kind of got across the rocks and stuff to get around the bit of
Okay.
ruined decking, and then you're kind of on your way. As you start to lead off, you can see Balasar takes the two individuals into the kind of way you run out, Sammy. You and Belgarian essentially came out. So he kind of walks off into town with those two, and the two other ones that were with him, they kind of carry on straight down the deck, probably to whatever the garrison is, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, just say to Captain, if you need us, we're in the Wyvern Inn, sir.
Okay, good. I'll definitely come try and find you all later.
Cool.
Cool.
And I'm gonna make my way to the Wyvern Inn, sir. And go and check on Saber.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of my dog.
So Saber knows this because you've already been there before, but essentially, the tavern itself, essentially there's a small little side road down the side of it, and enough for a car and that sort of to fit through, but not obviously very wide. And as it kind of goes around the back, it essentially goes around to a kind of almost a stable type area, and you know that Saber would have went around there to that.
Yeah.
But before I do you lot in the inn, I'm going to jump back to Fenton, going back to your boat. So, is there anything you want to do in terms of going back to your boat, Fenton? Or
just literally just walk along and just I'm just as I go past the wreckage of the other boat, I'm just kind of and heading up towards mine. I'm just looking to see the kind of the damage that's been done to other boats to kind of guess what my boat's going to look like by the time I get there as such.
You look, for the most part, most of the other boats are not badly damaged, because what seemed to happen is as the boat came in and hit, where Quandra actually fell off, she fell off onto a small jetty that actually leads out. So that jetty is a bit damaged, but it was actually protecting all the boats from that point down towards yours. So most of them boats,
okay.
It's only the boats on since you've come up. A couple of those had a bit of a knock, but not enough to cause any major damage. Most of the force went straight in through the wood and hit the stone. So for the large part, the defense that they actually put down stopped a lot of the damage, but obviously it continued on.
Sorry, was the boat like? Because you said I thought you was describing it as like a big passenger boat. So I'm just wondering whether like the kind of the wake of the water also maybe not just the kind of actually the boat hitting, but if the speed and the water whether that kind of was enough to either just raise them up and drop them down again and do nothing, or actually do something more substantial.
It would have kind of jostled the boats about. So
Okay.
if anything, it would have slightly moved about and bumped about, but nothing more than the kind of side protections you would have on them. So you'd have kind of either rubbery strips or small buoys and stuff like that on the side of the boats. They would be enough to kind of help that sort of stuff. You're not close enough together that you're.
That's the other thing as well, yeah.
Like you're not gangplank close. You're farther than that. You're like whole jetties width. Apart.
Oh right, okay, lovely. Oh okay.
You're not too close.
All
Especially
right,
down your end.
In the poor end.
Yeah, it's essentially down that end is essentially a bit more open space because the boats are smaller. Technically, you can fit bigger boats in there, but you're all kind of one or two parked in quite a large bay, as it were.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I just go give it a cursory glance, and then I just clear up a few of the bottles and stuff, and also check to see if anyone's left me any another note. And yeah, and after spending 10 minutes, just going just a check around the boat, a bit of a tidy up of bottles, make sure there's no more notes, and then it's like, oh, I think it's beer time now, and I just trot my way back to the inn.
Cool. Okay. So those of you guys, I'm guessing the other 5 of you are essentially trekking towards the inn. As I said, Sam, you don't need to worry about Saber because you know you've already done it in the past where Saber's just gone straight around to the back. And you know yourself around the back, there is kind of like a stable hand who would see Saber coming around with the cart and would help kind of unpack the cart and essentially put it into one of the kind of stable stalls. And then Saber would essentially just go off and sit with it. Normally, he would feed the animal, stuff like that, especially if, like well-trained animals. He could essentially attend to him. He knows you well enough, essentially. There's a couple of random kind of stable hands who essentially help either mount up horses ready for riding, all that sort of stuff, or help bring in and stuff. Almost like bellboys, if you like. They're essentially there's almost enough staff in this place that they do have assistants for them sort of things. You know yourself, this is a very wealthy inn that, as I said, have that kind of extra means of staff, stuff like that. There are other inns dotted around town, but this is obviously the most prominent, more wealthy of them. So essentially, most of you guys get up to the front of the inn. Quinn, Quandra, and Leonidas, you guys have never seen this inn before, but Fenton, Belgarian, and Sammy, you've seen this kind of inn before. Essentially, you guys are more aware of this town. You've been here before. For the other 3, you've never kind of really been to Elkinshaw before, so most of this is fairly somewhat new to you. Leonidas, especially new to you, as in the buildings are obviously different from what you're used to. And Quinn, it's just a new place for you. Quandra, you are from the Roscoe Empire essentially, so you kind of do know, like this is not new as a whole place to you. It's just you haven't been here before. So essentially, the inn itself, on the front of it, quite a long building, almost has the back of a ship, the glass windows on the back of a ship that kind of jut out the back. And you kind of have a long row of glass with the kind of lead in the middle, lots of small windows. You can essentially see the front of it is full up of about 5 bays of these windows, and then the same up above. At least a 2-floor building, possibly a 3-floor building, you imagine, with the actual roof section as well. In between the windows at the front, there is a very obvious kind of entrance, a small kind of jutting out with its own little roof, kind of just a small place to kind of kick off muddy boots or whatever else, that sort of stuff you imagine, just to get out of the rain rather than drag everything into the nice establishment itself. You get up to the place and it's a big double door open, lots of glass again. And as soon as you're kind of getting to the place, you can immediately start to hear music. There's definitely some sort of music playing, probably some sort of band or something similar like that. Upon kind of opening the doors, immediately just this warmth and this smell of kind of like pies and pastries. Immediately, just like, especially some of you have been on the road for quite a while. Definitely, you're getting the kind of sense of this good food, and it's making you hungry. And yeah, as you essentially crest in, you kind of crest into the tavern itself, and you're in what is essentially a very wide open area, loads and loads of tables in front of you. Over to the right hand side, there is a very long bar spanning at least about 15 meters long. The building itself, or more so this area that you're in itself, is too kind of high on this first bit you're in. So as you look up, you can see there's like a balcony that kind of leads round. Over to the left-hand side, you can see there is a small stage, and on it there is a couple of musicians playing just kind of like a daytime, simple, not overly jolly, just kind of like a flute and just a couple of stringed instruments, sort of thing. Just a ambience type of music for the kind of patrons that are in here. And as you look around, you can see it's fairly busy. There's all manner of different types of people in here. It doesn't look like a rough place particularly. You can see by the decor in here that it's definitely a wealthy place. You come in and it's carpeted as soon as you kind of walk in. There's no kind of harshness to the floor. Slightly odd given that it's a place of drink, but you kind of get a sense that this is not the place where people drink and get drunk enough where they're falling around on the floor with drink going everywhere kind of thing. It definitely looks a bit more kind of upper market in terms of the kind of people that are in here. You can see there's some really well-dressed people that are kind of sitting around one table, looking about. You can see there's some other very finely dressed kind of people. And then as you kind of got this bar to the right, over on your right-hand side, there are kind of like a set of stairs that lead up, and then there's also another door that goes off into a kind of other direction where you can't see. So yeah, I wish I'd gone and got some music for it, but essentially you will walk in. So what are you doing once you walk in?
I could do with a nice meal. They do anything nice in here, Sammy?
Are they the food? I don't generally eat food, to be fair. It's not part of my
Right. Yes.
my makeup, as it were. But the food I've been told is excellent food. A little bit more expensive than your sort of normal inn that you may find, but very much worth the few copper extra that you may pay. I do partake in a beverage because of the lubrication, and the beverages are very nice.
Right.
So yeah, I wholeheartedly recommend the food and the drink here.
Okay.
Should we find a table then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely easy to find the table. There's a good couple of tables around. Still very busy, but the place is big enough. It's probably set into kind of slightly later afternoon. The weather itself outside was a bit windy, but fairly dry. So yeah, so it's not like people are pouring in there at the moment. You assume this is as busy as it normally is, but there's definitely tables around.
Brilliant. So I'm going to look around for one of the for a server, and I'll beckon her over.
Okay. Yep. So a young human kind of comes over to you, probably 20s, early 20s, that sort of stuff, and essentially says, "What can I get you?"
For myself, if you let do I know the manager's name, the lead barman's name at all, Brad?
Yes, you do.
All right. If you could just tell
Morley.
Morley that Sammy's here and he'd like a Sammy special. He'll know what to do. And if you could get my friends whatever they order, and put it on my tab and I'll pay it later, that would be brilliant.
Okay. Can do. No problem.
Thank you. And friends, feel free. Order whatever you want to eat or drink.
Cool. Thank you.
It's quite a
Thank
welcome.
you.
No worries. And would you also tell Morley that there may be a handful of people coming in asking for me? I said I'd buy them a drink. They help me out. If they give my name, again, just put it on my tab. Whatever they want to drink is
Okay.
fine.
Yes, we'll do.
Okay. Thank you.
Quinn?
Okay.
Quinn? I put my hand to my head and
Quinn? Fish for me.
Fish. Okay.
Yeah, some fish, and get us. If you could ask them for obviously I will pay for it. An owl, with some sort of device, like a long stick, where I can drink my drink from.
You want a long stick?
Yeah, a bit like a straw.
Okay.
And an owl.
An owl.
Ale.
Ow.
Ale.
Ale. Right.
Ale.
Most
Ale.
flying
Ale.
varieties.
I
Yeah.
thought we meant an owl. I was going to say,
Yeah,
you drink the owl.
What, you eat birds? Cannibal.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't say that right.
He drinks owl's brains.
I haven't had one of those for a long time.
Do you want a menu or?
Menu.
Fish pie, Quinn.
Well,
Fish pie.
We don't have a menu as such. What is it you're after?
some
Let me
nice
know and I can tell you what we've got that's close to it.
fish.
Fish? We have plenty of fish.
What's
Fish
your
and
favourite
seafood.
Oh.
What was that you're after?
fish? I say in my head, what's your favourite fish?
To me, yeah.
Yeah,
To
for-
her?
Yeah, to you.
Oh, sorry.
To Leo.
yeah.
Oh, to Leo.
Yeah, I'll have if they do a fish pie, that'd be lovely. I'll have a fish pie and some vegetables and some potatoes. That'd be lovely.
Yeah. Do you do fish pie?
We can certainly do a fish pie.
Can we get 2 fish pies with some vegetables and some potatoes?
Yeah, most certainly.
And what would you like to drink? Sorry, Leo.
An owl. Ale.
Ow.
Ale.
Ale.
I think he wants ale.
Not an hour. I was joking. She doesn't say that.
No.
Yes, okay. What is that? 2 of them?
No, one of those. I would like some rum, please.
Some rum. Okay, yes. And food?
One of those fish pies was for myself.
One of those fish pies. Okay. Should I write that down? What can I get other people?
Do you do any meat? What meat do you do?
Most of the kind of common meats. We've got beef and lamb and pork.
Could I have a beef pie, please, and some mead, please?
Yeah, of course. And who else? So you're just making this order at this point, and Fenton, obviously, you come bumbling in at this point.
Phantom. I'm waving my hand up in the air to him.
You can hear
Therefore, you might take off. Every time I hear Chris talk, I just think of a little flapping bird going,
Yeah.
hello.
He's getting rather excited that Fenton's walked in,
Tweety pie.
trying to get his attention.
Yeah, I'll come over. Hello, lads and lasses.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Aldrin, nice.
Yep.
What
Yes,
do I know?
this one?
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Guess you can put it away then.
I look at the server.
Yeah.
I'll behave this time.
I'm not picking you up this time.
Thank you for that. I sit down sheepishly, like a really big man in a tiny chair. Yeah.
I fear there may be a story before dinner.
It's more a reoccurring theme, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
She says to you, "What can I get you, Fenton? What are you after?"
Just
This is
one of each.
One of each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just been in a big fight, quite hungry.
Fair enough.
I hear that, and I say, I repeat what he says. American. One of each. And I put my hand up to her. So basically, I'm changing my order, Brad.
Yeah, that's fine. And to drink, Fenton?
One of each.
One of
Quinn
each.
knows one of each
I think that's
anyway.
one of each. I'm not going to have to eat your food. Fucking hell.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, ale and whiskey chasers.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, whiskey chasers.
By the way, Brad,
Yeah.
how common are Warforged?
Not at all, but they do know him here.
No, I was thinking more in my line of work.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Sammy's the first time you've ever seen anything like this. None of you have ever seen anything like this.
Oh right,
Sammy,
okay.
odd.
I wasn't sure because otherwise
Actually,
I would have been a bit different. But
that said, you've probably seen Sammy about town. Belgarian, you haven't, but you've probably seen him about town. So you've seen him, but he is odd to you. You don't kind of know enough of what he is, or
no. I've spent 10 minutes in a fight with him standing next to me. So that tells me all I need to know about him.
But in terms of Warforged in general, they're not a common thing. You've not seen most
Okay,
of
and
them.
they're not part of it, like in sort of soldiers and armies and stuff like that. They don't normally have any like not special units as such, but they're not common enough to be used offensively.
It's a history check for me.
No.
Do what?
Rolling.
What?
A
A
history
what?
History.
History check.
Oh my lord!
Oh, that's a good view of your dice box there, Stu. I'm going to make that big now.
I can't tell, is that 15?
No, it's a 4.
five?
It's 5.
Oh.
It's a 4 altogether.
It's 4 altogether. Oh, bless
It's
you.
my morning.
You sit there for a minute as she's kind of the waitress is essentially trying to take your order, and you're just like, no, I know. And now your brain is starting to hurt.
Good night,
And
everybody.
she just nods her head and goes, "Yeah, okay, I've got your order. You're good."
All right.
Good night, Charlotte.
Good night,
You don't
darling.
know anymore. Fenton doesn't know of any other times that they've come up as such, but you definitely know that they're not common.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All
right. And then she points over, and you quiet gentleman on the side there, just pointing at you, Bulgarian.
Yeah. Do you do any? Do you like do a roast dinner?
We certainly could, yes.
Yeah, please.
And to drink?
Nice beer, please.
Okay, can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who am I missing? No, because Sammy has eaten. Good.
I won't eat.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I ordered my Sammy special drink.
Okay. Do you want to know the damage?
No. Go on then.
How about I add it up and you guys can carry on the conversation?
So what brings everybody here then?
Free drink and food.
I like your honesty, Fenton.
I probably would have found my way here later anyway, but yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I think we've earned it.
Yeah, it was a good dust up. So that's how you start the day.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen those rat people.
I've never seen rats acting like that, or rat people. Anyone?
I think a lot.
I'll show you something with my stick.
Not like that.
I look at Leo's stick.
There's 3 rats on the end.
He's got 3 rats stuck to it.
Like rat kebab later.
Nice. You keeping those or?
No. Yes.
It's breakfast for tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Don't encourage him.
So hold on, which of you were on the boat then?
Yeah.
I
And
was.
why did it crash? What the hell was it carrying loads of rats for? And why
I
did it
had
blow
no
up?
idea actually. I was just sitting on the deck reading.
I was very distracted.
Next
Okay.
thing I know, I look up and like we're just approaching quicker and quicker towards the docks.
And Leo, why did they take you? Do you know? We asked this already, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
don't know.
I liked his silky feathers.
Was I sleeping or something, Brad, when they took me?
No, you just got caught up as they come flying out of the kind of door,
Okay.
down the deck, kind of hatch sort of system. Essentially, they come flying out, and as they did, you were kind of up on
I was
the deck.
taken along with the crowd, basically. Yeah.
You were similar to Quandra and Quinn, except they were just slightly standing over the other side, whereas the rats seemed to head your direction and pick you up along with the other two. The other two were standing on deck as well. You saw them.
So I take it Leo can't fly then.
No. He says no.
No. I was just curious because obviously, like, you've got feathers, you have looks like you've got wings. I was just wondering if you could fly.
Quinn. It's basically a curse. That Kenkus have. If Quandra wants to know that, and I'll pass that through. Quinn.
I relayed it.
Thank you.
Okay.
That sounds a bit shit.
What, the curse? Indeed.
Is there a way that you
Shit.
can break the curse?
Shit.
Is it all Kenkus or just you?
I'm trying something. A lot of research. A lot of my lifetime has been searching to become something different.
Right, okay.
I can understand that. I do a lot of researching and reading myself.
Yes, so do
Maybe we could put our heads together and see what we can come up with.
God help us.
Yeah.
I've been around a long time, so
I will share more. I'm obviously doing this through Quinn, Brad. I will share more. It's mainly trust. I'm sure you understand.
yes, perfectly.
So, Quandra, why was you on the boat then?
I was just cut long story short, I'm going to look for somebody. I don't know where they are or who they are, but I'll know when I find them.
That sounds stupid.
I know, but
I wouldn't say stupid. It does sound like a very long shot, though.
it is a long shot. I don't really know much about.
How do you know you're going in the right direction if you don't know
Yeah.
who they are?
I know that it's not from my side of the world they're from.
Have you got any clues or anything to go on?
Only it's who I am.
So you're looking for yourself.
I'm looking for family, yes.
I'm nodding absently while just stuffing my face.
I was saying, yeah, by now your food comes up. Your food actually comes up and is most certainly worth the money that's just been paid for it. I've sent you the money cost, David.
Bill.
You sent me the bill, have you?
In Discord, you've got
Let
an
me
amount.
get to Discord.
This is when we see Sammy go, I'll be right back, and never show up again.
Yeah. That's fine.
And
And I'll add another couple of silvers as a tip.
Can we
Cool.
assume this is a short rest, Brad?
You can, yes.
Right,
So that's-
cool, because I
Let's
need
do that.
I need a spell slot back. So it's a short rest, yeah?
Yep, that is a
Yeah.
short rest. That's no problem. You're going to be here for a bit, I'm sure, chatting and eating and all that sort of stuff.
So that's now down to that.
Okay.
We haven't had a long rest yet, have we? Or have we?
No.
No.
Yeah, no, because you haven't had. You've kind of was straight into it, running through it, all the way through it. and you're out. So yeah, not even a. Literally, you guys have known each other for the space of about an hour. So.
Longer than that, because we had a short rest inside.
Oh, you did, yes. So say probably 2.5 hours worth of you guys being out of the boat into there, round, back out, and here. It's probably about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking about 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, just a note to Candy then, you can't get a spell slot back because it's once a day.
Oh,
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, once per long rest.
Okay, never mind.
That's cool. That's cool.
I just done short
I've
rest.
adjusted my coinage, sir.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Thank you all for standing beside me. Really, it was. To be fair, I still don't know what we were doing down there. I know we saved Leo and Mr. and Mrs. that went with the captain.
That was Mr. and Mrs. LeFou.
Why? That's
found some
the
gold down there.
question.
Why was a passenger ship full of rats?
Why did it crash? Why did the rats carry off 4 people?
Well, the captain's coming here later, isn't he? So.
Yeah, maybe he's. I mean, I didn't want to interrogate. Oh, I'll be back 1 minute.
Cool.
Go on, Belgaren, you were saying?
I was just saying, the captain will be here later, so hopefully he can let us in on.
Yeah, but he was
On
the
what
he's the
actually
captain of the guard, not the captain of the ship. Surely the
No, I
captain
thought
of
the
the ship.
captain of the ship was coming as well, weren't he?
No, we don't know where the captain of the ship is.
Oh, don't we?
No.
You didn't see him. No one specifically tried hard to find him, though.
Bradley,
I
we've
thought
all.
it was walking backs.
No, that was the captain of the guard who fought with
was
us.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the reading and research I'm doing, do I know anything similar that's happened or?
No, nothing's come up. Nothing. There's no obvious tales of anything where large amounts of rats have been doing kind of anything as such. This is often tales of a town having too many rats and having someone kind of group of people go down and just mercilessly murder loads of rats because there's too many of them. But nothing in any sense that says they're anything more than just a normal pestilence.
So I was more thinking of like the rat people. Have there been any references in the past or from any of the reading experience would have come across anything similar?
Roll for me a history check. I'll take it advantage because you're researched and this is in Roscoe, which you're fairly familiar.
Which dice? 20.
So 20 twice, yeah. Advantage with the 20.
A 13
Yeah.
and a 9.
Okay, so then it's a history check, so it's adding on your
So
history.
what's your history?
History is. I just got to find it now. History. Where would I find that? Right there.
In the long list.
Skills,
In the skills in the middle.
Yeah, I'm looking. History.
Alphabetical.
Skills. Sorry, Keith's coming over to show me. I'm still getting used to this. Where's history?
It's fine. I'm on purposely not slightly showing you, so you can definitely learn. What they are.
Plus 7. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. As I said, Candy, I can go quickly look at it for you. I already seen what it was, but I'm trying to also step back to make sure you can learn where it is. So you're thinking.
Yep.
So that gives you a total of 20. That's a good roll.
Yep.
So effectively, the rats themselves are obviously not standard rats. The rats that you saw evolved back into human when they were dead, before they were burned. Essentially, Balasar and his 2 others were burning them. Well, you guys kind of helped group them around and burn them effectively. There's nothing in your kind of research of what you've done in the past that kind of specifically mentions anything similar. But what you do have a knowledge of is druids who do change shape. Druids often are changing shape. You notice yourself from them changing to all sorts of different animals and stuff like that. But you don't recall even knowing druids and stuff like that. You don't even recall seeing anything change into something quite like that. That was not a rat. It was something in between a humanoid and a rat, effectively. and that's not normally what you see. Normally, when you've ever seen kind of druids change, you see them change from human form into animal form, not something in between.
Mhm.
And in all your research, it's not something that you specifically researched into, but nothing specific came up. But what did come up, what you do know of, is there is a very old organization in the Roscoe Empire that are more. They are older than the actual the organization themselves are older than the Roscoe Empire. They're known as the Viridian Brotherhood, and they are effectively like a guild of monster hunters, and they do kind of work around the world themselves, somewhat secretive, but your understanding of it is that they originally, before the Roscoe Empire became an empire, before it had royalty and guards and everything else, way back then, this used to be the group that used to be the kind of group that would go around and help, kind of not so much dealing with anyone in towns, would help go and fight monsters or anything that were a risk to people as such.
What they called again? Sorry.
And they're called the Viridian Brotherhood. And based on your kind of research, they have come up kind of multiple as kind of like an early organization that are essentially kind of helping to keep the peace, as it were, but then by no means like lawful guards of towns or anything like that. They are their own entity. They kind of work for money. Some of them are not very nice, but they are effective. They're effective in what they do.
Am I allowed to bring this up with the group?
You can, yeah. I would say Belgarian and Fenton, you know of the name, but you don't know much about them. You know there is a group called the Viridian Brotherhood. When if Condra says it, you recognise the name, but you don't know much about them.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the name again? The who Brotherhood?
Viridian.
Iridium.
Viridian, the green.
Viridian,
colour.
right. Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
But they're a very long established guild that still survive to today. As such, you know that they are still around today. But now, given that there's a big empire and everything else, obviously they're not the kind of what they used to be in terms of controlling monsters and stuff. But essentially, they're still hired to go and deal with jobs and that kind of stuff.
Have I fought with them before?
Because you've not necessarily allied with monstrous kind of.
Oh, sorry, they're monstrous. Right, okay, sorry, my
Monstrous,
mistake. I thought you said
yeah.
they were hunting monsters. Sorry.
No. They're monster hunters kind of thing. They hunt kind of anything abnormal, anything that's not. They basically keep out of politics in any sense. They don't go and fight against people unless those people have
On your
some
day off,
body
not
to
on your
them.
birthday.
So don't normally fight against normal people. So you would never have encountered them in any sense in that way. I'd say that potentially you may have come across members, but not know anything about them in any sense.
I think I've met some of them. Are bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say possibly in terms of your route around the world, kind of Fenton, you would have definitely seen one or two of them at least. Belgarian, you would have known of the name but wouldn't have seen any. But Fenton, you probably would have seen one or two of them, and they are generally very, very dark green leather armor, but essentially a massive kind of breastplate as well that they essentially wear, and their arms are sleeveless, and they normally have like a big bracer on that normally has some sort of weapon hidden in it. Fairly kind of chunky.
They're like light armored infantry, more barbarian types rather than fighter types.
Each one is slightly different. Some of them are rather broad, and some of them are kind of very dexterous and quite thin. They don't tend to be kind of caster types, more so.
I guess they all have their own special set of skills that they offer.
Yeah, the ones you would have seen, Fenton, they look like they're wearing stuff that is very, very finely made indeed. That's worth a lot of money.
They're well financed.
Not so much well financed, probably well experienced and well travelled. I like a well travelled adventurer. If you think of the kind of supernatural and all that sort of things that these would fight against, they would need certain protections, but also they would gain certain rewards from that.
So I think the next thing to decide is whether we're going to stay in town, go our separate ways, or
I'm in town for the next few days. I've got a bit of business to do. And I don't know where it's going to take me next.
well, obviously I can't go nowhere until I find a boat or this one's repaired.
Okay, so this was just a stop then.
I think this was meant
Landing
just to
there.
be a pit stop. They were stopping to resupply some of the food and drink on the ship.
That boat's not going anywhere for a while, is it?
Yes. I hope they have room here.
This inn, yeah. They very rarely will they turn anyone away as long as you've got the money to pay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be staying here. Looks a bit out of my price range.
Where was you heading, girlie? I'll talk to Quinn.
Me, I am heading all about, really. How about yourself?
Well, this is my home for the moment. I've got my boat and a little bit of gold, and I'm slowly drinking myself to death. So that's about my current status. Yeah.
You're a very simple man, aren't you?
Yes. Let's not go there again, but yes.
It's all conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's one of them things. I've done a lot of battles. It's time for a rest for the minute. I'm sure that won't last long because I'm sure the captain's going to come along any minute now and say, Fenton, go and fight someone, and I'll go yes because I like doing it and I want to do it, and I can't sit here on my boat.
Quite good at it. To be fair,
I like to. You don't get to be this age without being good at it.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, I mean, you all did very good. I've spent a lot of time with soldiers, and fighters and people that talk a good fight, but seem to scurry to the back. And not one of you. And I point at Quandra, not so much Quinn because she looks like she was fighting in it. But you lady, you were still in the thick of it. Maybe just a little bit too much, but you were in the thick of it. So yeah, no, good. It's been a pleasure. So I hoist me tankard. So very good. Well done to you all.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Well done to you all.
I love him. He's so funny.
I give Chris an inspiration point.
Oh dear.
Quinn, so we found out what people are doing, or because I'm looking for an adventuring party.
Oh. I say that out loud.
To help.
Okay.
I'm doing an adventure myself, so I don't mind joining up with someone else to adventure together.
Maybe we have to find out how long. Obviously, Quandra is going to be here, stranded because of the ship. So
Yeah, we should probably find that out.
And I'm going to be round town anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I'm here for at least a few more days. Probably a bit longer now that there may be a bit of trouble with some of the stock coming off that ship. But yeah, if happy to help out while I'm around.
Are you still buying?
I'll buy one more round. Go on.
Barkeep.
Garçon.
I knock on my knocker. Try to get her attention.
What's that?
I knock on the door knocker to get her, try to get attention.
A
As
bottle of your finest.
as you're doing that, and as Fenton's was like, "Are you buying another one?" You hear the familiar voice behind you. Oh, I see. And you can hear immediately Balasar's coming up and just like nodding his head at you, Fenton. Fenton, can't have more episodes in here.
I've already been told off by, and I point over to the waiter, waitress, or whoever it was.
Are we going to hear any of these interesting stories?
Well, they're not all that interesting. It's basically me drinking too much, making a mischief of myself, and then having to spend time fixing what I broke. Promising I'm never going to do it again.
Until the
do it
next
again.
evening.
Yeah, and then I can get away. I can get away with so much, but I think I'm. It's getting a bit thin. So I've got to be good today.
Just the one more then, yeah.
Yeah, just one day of being good. I think that will really help. Although if you carry on buying drinks, I'm
No, that's what I said. Just the one more drink then. We'll make that one last.
Balasar says, "May I join you?"
Certainly, certainly, Captain.
I stand up and give him my seat.
Well, thank you, Fenton. I'm sure you won't be so gracious later.
This one's on me.
No. I'll need it later.
This one's on me.
I'll take that while it's here.
Is Saber here then? Is he? She?
Saber, yes, he's
up at the bar.
he's out with a wagon, looking after the wagon.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Not allowed in.
No, he's my wagon protector. There's a lot of delicate stuff on there, and maybe stuff that shouldn't be fooled around with. So he sort of puts off any silliness. And the stable hands like him when he's around as well, because he does make their life a little bit easier. They haven't got to keep such an eye on things. They know he's around. So.
How long have you been here for?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Just got back into town just today. Literally, all this excitement's boiled up on the way back into town. I travel around. I'm part of the merchant guild, and I travel around to various places. Dropping off, picking up, maybe doing a bit of fixing for people if they need it. Just trying to keep busy whilst looking for more of my own kind. Seem to be a very rarer commodity than I first thought they would be, seeing as I'm here.
I've been around, and I've not seen very many of you at all.
Yeah, that's the same sort of answer I get from virtually everybody I meet. So that's what I do. I'm quite a generally keep to myself, except for when I'm selling things or moving things along for people. As I said, I was coming into town. I knew the Shawbreaker was coming in, and I thought there might be a chance of there being a little bit of work. And now I'll probably pop down there tomorrow once things have calmed down a bit and see.
Sorry to interrupt, Sammy, but have you still got that corpse in your bag?
Yes, that's well remembered, sir. Probably should take that to the captain.
Yeah, I thought it was me at first, but then I realised one of us is carrying a corpse.
Balasar essentially pipes up and goes, yes. Okay, so let's have a quick debrief on what we just went through. Obviously, I don't know a good few of you. I know one or two of you. So, first of all, thank you definitely for your hard work. That was, I'm not actually sure why many of you joined in, but definitely I can see there's some good in you all. First thing of note is I've returned Rupert and Daphne to their home. They've essentially got some staff who would kind of help them out. They're probably going to be resting up now anyway. In that regard, though, they're very thankful for your help, and my best means to kind of essentially send you in a direction of more thanks to myself. I'm just a town guard. I can't really pay out my own money. I don't really earn that much. But essentially, one of the main nobles of town his name is Levi Thomas.
Yeah,
He's on the big hill, big mansion up the kind of top of the hill. Effectively, you go up and probably set up a meeting with him. I don't know if he'll be in all the time to just be able to for you to be able to see, but maybe go up and strike up a meeting, or I could, if you want, I could go and set you up a meeting, and I'm sure he will be thankful. He's normally not so much as a head of the nobles, but essentially fairly prominent figure for the town itself. He's probably the good person to go and speak to. Would probably be pleased for your involvement in the assistance of kind of the docks and the people, essentially. On top of that, we obviously saw them strange kind of beings that we burn. That I'm definitely very wary on what they were, and I need to go and find out some more information. I've merely just come back from dropping off those who we saved. My plan is to come in just to speak to you guys to see kind of what went on, make sure you're kind of okay and whatever. As I said, to let you know about Levi, so you can go and kind of get a meeting with him, and then essentially I'm going to go off. I'm going to try and find out some more information from you, and then I'll come back. I'm probably going to go and be speaking to the Brotherhood, and most likely the people I'm going to need to speak to. Once I speak to them, I know some of them are in town. I'll go and speak to them. I'll come back and tell you more.
Please do, because I was bitten by one of them.
Yes, there was definitely a good few scrapes and bites that people were getting. It was definitely concerning. They are not something we see barely at all, if ever.
Who was
So
bit?
yeah, I would say if you guys can probably stay around until we know more, just in case. If my guards are somewhat following you guys around, don't be too upset. They're not looking to arrest you. They're merely probably just keeping an eye on you for your own sake and our own sake. A friendly monitoring, if you like.
No,
But is everyone okay? Did we make it out of that mostly unhurt? I feel like we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Not
I
too
think
bad.
so. I
I'm
think
not just eating chicken.
I was bit, but I'm not too worried about it. To be fair, I don't tend to take much damage from
Good. Well, I'm glad we didn't have any
diseases
casualties.
or poisons or anything. So
Keep the corpse in your bag until we see Lord Thomas, I'd probably say, by the way.
well, no, I'll take him to the. I'll take him to the captain.
What, and then dump it on his desk?
No,
Well,
he's
not really,
actually,
'cause-
sorry, I completely forgot with all the things I've got going on in my head at the moment. The best thing I would suggest is with that body, the best place to be able to take that is if you'll know anyway.
Yeah.
There is essentially a large temple. There is a large temple in town. So effectively, if you take it to them, they're probably going to be the people who could do the most with it as such.
You reckon
They are particularly. He is talking to you, Sammy, referring to a temple in town, kind of just up the road the way you came. It's essentially a very large, kind of prominent temple, essentially.
Reckon they're open?
And that's kind of where you're assuming he's telling you to take it to.
I get excited and I go, hello.
Don't take it out now.
No.
Doesn't look like it'd be really good. Take it to them. Let them take it out once you're with them.
Who, Brad? Do I think the temple would be open now? And
You know the temple's open all night.
right, in which case, I'll tell you what. If you guys want to finish up here, I'll be back in a few minutes. Then I'll take the body to the temple now.
Brad.
Yeah.
I'll go to say to Quinn. Could you find out what temple it is?
What
deity
is this? To what deity?
It's a temple to.
This might surprise all of you because you don't know any at this point. The temple is a temple to the Luminars, which is essentially a number of spiritual gods.
Can I
Very
spot-
old spiritual gods. It's a very one or two of you would have heard of it before. Leonidas, you would have heard of it before, not know an awful lot about it as such, but it's a definite name that pops up a few times when talking about religion or talking about anything fairly old as such. The Luminars essentially are a term that kind of comes up at different times referring to very old spirits.
Brad, do I know anything
This
about?
is a temple for them.
Do I know anything about them?
I was going to ask the same.
Can I get both of you two to do, and Leonidas, can I get all three of you to do a religion check? Quinn, you can do it with advantage.
Oh God! Oh, yeah, thank you.
12. And then my
Religion.
religion.
Is that it? Fuck off.
My religion is +5, so 17.
I got 17
Okay.
as well.
You got 17 as well?
Oh, fuck me. I'm not even going to say what I got. Fucking religion, that.
Is that not
bollocks.
one of your skills, mate?
Yeah, but it's still shit. That's 5.
Oh dear.
Are they tiger's eye dice? Are they expensive gem dice that you can't
No, that's
now?
me. That's me.
No, they're not.
They're actually,
No.
Stuart, they're the equivalent of yours. They're his fancy dice that he bought for this character. So, like, the
Yeah.
equivalent of yours,
Yeah.
these dice that are supposed to be good are not performing by the look of
No, definitely not. I've got not a fucking clue, mate.
it.
I'm sticking with my dice through thick and thin now. Doesn't matter what I roll.
That's it.
Perfect.
Kill the
Okay,
party, wouldn't
So yeah, Leonidas, you essentially have heard this name pop up at different times.
Sure.
It's the kind of thing that pops up in terms of relation when they're talking about gods. Every now and again, especially Pelor and some different other gods at times, their mention of names come up, but they always come up as a sub kind of god in comparison to the Luminars. The Luminars are known as essentially far older than anyone can remember. These are just stuff that's been written, not what anyone remembers. These are far older than anyone knows. In terms of Quandra and Quinn, both of you two have kind of done enough research to, again, you've seen their kind of the Luminars as a concept of gods have popped up at multiple times, generally in reference to random kind of tales and not so much written obvious knowledge, but random kind of tales and legends and lore and stuff regarding stuff a very long time ago. Quinn, for you, you know something more, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Okay.
I'll write it to you at some point, but it would take me a bit to write, so I'm not going to write it now.
Okay.
So Sammy, you're going to get up and go now.
Yeah. I
I'm
don't
gonna-
really wanna
I'm
carry
gonna
this
ask.
poor body
I'm gonna ask Sammy if I
with
can
me,
come
to be-
with him because I've read
Yeah,
about
More
the
than welcome.
Luminars and I'd just like to see a temple.
more than welcome, man. More than
Thank you
Cool.
very much.
Balasar says, "Just okay. I'm going to join you for the walk up there." And he finishes off his drink and says, "I'll walk you up that way and go off to where I'm going."
Okay.
I want to talk to Balasar. Anyway.
Okay.
I can walk up with them and then.
Okay, you can come with, and we can walk on the route. I'm off to find the people from the Brotherhood, so you can follow me as far as you want, really.
Yeah, cool.
I'm back off pretty much towards the entrance of town.
Do I know where the temple is?
You're going to pass it on route.
Okay, cool.
He's going to carry on all the way out that way, right up to near the gatehouse where you came in. Is what he just said to you.
Cool.
I'll be still here when you're all done.
No,
I
I
guess we've
respect
got
that.
Queen,
Back to join her.
Quinn, Leonidas, and Fenton are all staying then.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to go to the temple, but I'm going to stay with Fenton. And who else is that?
Quinn.
Quinn.
And Quinn, yeah.
So there's the one who speaks for you and the one you keep mimicking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm saying.
Best friends.
Having too much fun with these two. So
While I'm eating, I turn to Quinn,
Mhm.
and I point down at the rapier, the rose. What does that signify?
Well, it was. I mean, the rapier was a gift, and that's all I really want to say for now. But it holds a lot of meaning to me.
It holds a lot of meaning to me as well.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Okay. I used to be in a company called the Bloody Roses.
I think I've heard a band like that.
Is Quinn close enough for me to drag across the table? unless that was Adam that said that.
No, it probably was Quinn. I'd say yeah, but Quinn, you can roll a DC 15.
Right. So instead, what I'll do is I just calmly put down my chicken.
Calmly.
Yeah, like trembling with suppressed anger, I stand up. Please, let's not do this. Let's not do this. I get that might be you, and I get that I'm me, but we can't do this. We can't do this. And
Are you going to eat that?
Cameron, you not pissed enough now, ready to piss yourself laughing now.
You're very funny. I pick up my plate and I move away.
Stuart, roll an insight check for me.
Right, hold on. How about that? Right, so is there any
Hello?
I'm getting to the point where intimidation.
We're on number flat 8, mate.
Fucking hell, Christopher.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, is there a
What do you mean?
chance?
What do you think?
I think just to stop just to realise the point I am.
No, more so.
Let's wait for Chris to stop talking.
More so, I'm potentially going to type something to you.
All right. Okay. All right. Sorry. What did you say? Insight.
Insight.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do intimidation. 10.
Nice dice.
After all that, it's going to just be okay. Have you finished? No.
There you
go. I say to Quinn in my mind, stop winding up Fenton. Like that. I need you both to work together.
I don't know what you're saying.
You don't know what I'm saying. Just stop winding him up. You know he's sensitive.
I think I'm still going to carry on with what I was trying to do. I want to try and show that I'm not fucking around.
Well, that's fair enough.
And that I don't. She's just fought with me. So I don't want to cause. I don't want to kind of show that I don't want to start a fight over something stupid, but it's getting to a point where it's winding me up. So I want to impress upon the situation that it's not advisable.
Okay, so you want to make an intimidation check?
As part of what I just did. Yeah, as part of what I just did, the kind of slowly put the chicken down, stand up, and then just the kind of that kind of part of the like tower over her while she's sitting at the table, and just impress upon the point upon the fact that this there will be an altercation, because that's how I resolve issues. Obviously, I know that that's not the right thing to do, but I can't help it, and that's me. It's like I'm all for parts of jokes and stuff like that, but it seems I don't know Quinn. So for how I'm seeing it is someone that I've just fought with, and normally brothers in arms and stuff. It seems it seems a bit disrespectful.
No, I get it.
So that's the thought process behind it, is to kind of just, now I'm probably going to roll a 3, but that's the thought process behind it.
I'm just trying to look at what would be the opposite, or what is the DC, or what is the opposite, as it were.
I don't know, actually. That's isn't it?
Hold on.
Yeah, and also the other thing is, I'm not trying to make her afraid of me in a
No. But you
I
are
wanted to scare her off, but I'm just.
You're essentially trying to influence. You're doing what it roughly says, but in that way, you are trying to influence their opinion or something of that sort. So you're essentially making a charisma and intimidation check. I'm just trying to figure out what I should make the DC.
Do I not get to roll a save?
Well,
I think it's against. I thought it was against like insight
wisdom.
or wisdom insight check.
It's a wisdom. It says your intimidation check is opposed by the target's modified level check 1d20 plus character level or hit dice plus target's wisdom bonus, if any. Plus target's modifiers on
Where
saves.
are you reading? Where are you reading?
On Google.
The Google DM guide.
On the Google.
So Adam.
Yeah, okay. No, we go with insight. We go your intimidation versus his insight, essentially.
Oh no, it's not what I wanted.
Because his insight will be used to determine essentially
how
what
much of a threat I am.
Yeah, how much of a threat, but also, if not, what are you trying to do? So from you, intimidation, and then from you, Quinn, a insight check.
That's handy. We can't see the dice because it's so dark.
He rolled a natural 20.
12.
20.
Natural 20.
No, 20 total.
Can I use my inspiration to re-roll this one?
You can.
Doing it. Oh, 17.
Still not enough. I would say that you feel fairly, Fenton, you feel fairly sure on your kind of almost staring down Quinn in a kind of, you're fairly sure that you've kind of put down what you're meaning in obvious kind of ways in terms of your mannerisms, your tone of voice, stuff like that. Quinn, you definitely pick up that. You're definitely picking up how annoyed Fenton is getting by specifically how by what you're saying to him. So as you're speaking to him, you're seeing, especially now from this, you're getting a very obvious sense that you're upsetting him, but you don't know why.
Right. I didn't mean any offence by my action.
Okay. All right. I offer out my hand. We fought together, so that counts for a lot.
I shake it. That my mate. I'm shaking his hand.
The Kenku jumps in the way and is just like vigorously shaking Fenton's hand. Fenton, you're just like, what?
Nice one, birdie. Okay.
Smile on the beak. This bird looks like that sense that as if there was a smile on the beak. Obviously,
Yeah, he's well proud.
You can tell a sense of excitement almost.
Yeah.
I go drinks on me, Quinn and Leonardus. I get this. I call out for the thing.
A rum double, please.
That sounds like a plan. I'll have that as well.
That'll cost you 13 silver.
Jesus Christ.
13 silver. Fucking hell. Having a bubble.
Just what all of your round would have been, and then add on all your dinners.